back, put you back in. No, I'm not ready. I'm never ready. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved over the waters. Day 1 he created. Day 2 he created. Day 3. Finally he created people. Male and female created he them in his own image. Now we're not talking about 24-hour periods. We're talking about the process of time. In the process of time, God created. This is not a calendar. This is just a statement of faith. And he made male and female. And he said to the male and the female, you'll leave your father and your mother, and you'll cleave unto your mate, and you'll become one flesh. By the way, he said, be fruitful and multiply. Now, this is the beginning. It all began. Our faith, my pistis says that God did all of this. I can't document it. But by faith, I say he did it. If we move over into the New Testament, when God revealed himself, the incarnate one, he revealed himself. And when he revealed himself in the form of love. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. God is love. Now this is not just love for chicken or love for turkey or love for beauty. This is love that comes out of the heart. It is called agape. And this is a giving kind of love. It gives. It doesn't ask, what are you going to do for me? It just gives. And it forgives. No matter what you do, no matter what you do, there is forgiveness. And then there is growth involved. You grow in time. If my hands were free, I would have both of you going up like this as individuals, going up, 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 but side by side, not losing your identities, but going up side by side. And you grow from year to year. Now, family is very important. Alexander, you come from family. This is an important person on your right. Graham, you come from family. And the one behind you is very important. Now, what happens now is that you take the best from your family and the best from your family, and you merge together, and you take the best that you have and the best that you are, and you become man and wife, husband and wife. That's appropriate now for me to ask, who gives Alexandra to Graham?
Good job.
I mentioned giving, and I'm going to ask you a very pertinent, relevant, personal question. Do you, Graham, commit as of this day that you will think only about giving to Alexandra? 100%. That's as high as you can get. And Alexandra, do you commit to give to Graham everything that you are? Now, in this giving, you don't ask, what are you going to give for me? What are you going to give in return? You just give. That's the nature of agape. It just gives and gives and gives, and it never asks, what are you going to give for me? Furthermore, we have forgiveness involved. I would like to say that you're going to have the perfect marriage and the perfect life. I would like to say that 10 decades from now, 5 decades from now, 4 decades, however many decades you live, I'd like to be able to say, you'll never have any reason to forgive. There is a commandment in the Decalogue that says, tell the truth. And so I'm telling the truth now. You must forgive each other. It doesn't make any difference what you do. It can be because he leaves a mess in the bathroom, or you don't do what you should do in the kitchen, or whatever. You learn to forgive. Now, when you forgive, you move it from the front part of your brain to the back part of your brain. It's not a matter of you erase it. You'll always remember it. But you leave it back there and you store it back there and you don't bring it to the front part of your brain to remind them 6 years from now, 10 years from now. Do you remember what you did? No. It's forgiveness. And then there is growth. You know, here you are. Graham, you're a little bit younger than I, aren't you? A little bit. And you're a little bit younger than he is, aren't you? All right. Now, in your life, you're going to grow. Now, you don't have to grow. But if you don't grow and you live just lives that without growth, your life is going to be miserable. Yeah. And so you learn to grow, Alexandra. You learn to grow, and you give her room to grow, and you give him room to grow. But you don't grow apart. You grow together and upward. You understand? Do you promise to grow? Do you promise to forgive? Do you promise to give? Now, we move to that part of the ceremony which involves the transformation or the change from I to we. And this we is represented by the ring. And Graham, as you take a ring, hold it for a moment. Don't drop it. Hold it for a moment. Now, Graham, you have been able to say in the singular, I. But now as you place that ring on her finger, you change to the plural, and it's we. Do you accept it in the same spirit? Don't you try? And Alexandra, if you take a ring and place it on his appropriate finger. Do you realize, Alexandra, that you go from I to we? From the singular to the plural? You know, we're so used to saying I and mine. And now it's ours, we, it's the plural. Okay? You commit to this. Okay, place it on his finger. Having made these commitments to each other, I do what you asked me to do. Without charge, by the way. Ordinarily wouldn't charge somebody, but you're getting it free. You've asked me to pronounce you husband and wife, and I do so because of the authority that I have vested in me by the state of Tennessee, where I come from. And I pronounce you now husband and wife. No, I'm going to kiss her. You know, Ruth and Naomi, mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, these statements were made, but they're appropriate for you. Entreat me not to leave thee, nor to return from following after thee. For whither thou goest, I will go. Whither thou lodgest, I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God my God. And where I die, there I shall be buried. Or where you die, there I shall be buried. What God has joined together, don't let anybody separate. Promise? All right. She's yours. Take care of it. Yeah, he's married to husband and wife.